Hi, it's Ingrid. I've just taken a little bit of time out of my painting day to share a video with you about one of my latest paintings, which is on porcelain. It's Floating in My Freedom. So I'm going to go through and talk to you more about that plate in a moment and go through just some of the techniques that I use and some of the painting styles. It's really hard to try and capture the different nuances and the different reflections that I use and purposefully create with lustre work on porcelain through photos. And it doesn't matter how many times I've tried, it just doesn't work. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm really open to receiving those bits of advice about how to photograph lustre work. A lot better than what I've been doing. So I thought that doing a video would help you be able to see what I see in person rather than just relying on a photo. I know you all like the photos, but I'm hoping that this works really well too. So here's the presentation of the painting. Here I'm going to try and show a little bit more of an up-close version of this painting so that I can try and capture the light as it moves across the plate. Basically, this video is going to try and show you how I use the multiple reflections of lustre painting techniques to enhance both your experience of the painting as well as add a deeper level of expression to the concepts that I'm communicating in this artwork. So you can see that as I tilt the plate and collect more light, you can see that the light changes, and so do the colours, and so do the shapes of movement from the brush strokes that are created with that as well. You can see these more sort of airy, almost cloud-like images, and they bleed out from the highlights in the gold to the different varied colours that are captured through the brush strokes of the yellow iris paint. As I come down the painting, you can see that there's a lot of quite vivid brush work with layers of copper over the purple and with the aurora colour. And basically my idea behind that technique was to show that the journey that the central figure is on, being the central figure there, that the journey that this central figure is on is one of liberation, but it's still not complete. And for me, it's a process of emergence. It's a dynamic process. It's still flowing, and you can see the flow through the whole painting as it surrounds the central figure. And for me, that dynamism it's an important concept. It sort of suggests that our lives aren't always perfect during that process of liberation, but when you're open to the process of change and you're flexible, it's when you get back on that path to ease, and that sort of relates back to the whole beginning idea of the journey that this central figure is on, being the floating in my freedom. So you can see that this idea is expressed by the moving, emerging lines and shapes in the painting, using the liquid burnishing gold, which I've polished here, and the paste work, and then layering it next to copper and liquid bright gold, just creates a different shimmering effect. You can see I've got layers of copper and gold there that move and change. It's become more gold, and then as I tilt the plate, it's more copper. And it basically, when you're looking at it in real life, it helps the eye travel around the painting. You can see that here in one light it's quite dark, but you can see the highlights of the gold, and then as it tilts you're picking up the copper reflections. Here you can see a lot of the other detail work on the layers of greens in the techniques that I've done there, and in the other light it's quite more plainly yellow. So I like to try and create different effects with the lustre paint itself to make use of those reflections, not just to create a flat colour. I actually on purpose create the different effects so that that movement, that transience of shape and form and colour creates an idea. It's not random, it's on purposely created. The colours are quite different from a lot of the paintings that I'm working on in this similar style of abstract expressionism. There's one just in front of me now which I've been working on. I'll talk more about that painting. It's nowhere near finished at the moment, but that's quite strong in colour. This one is working more in the yellows, and as I explained in the blog post, it relates a lot to the experiences that I had in Thailand last year. So a lot of the dot work here is combinations of liquid bright gold and platinum. Sorry, it's gone blurry there. Because there's so much varied detail, it's hard for the camera to focus on the different areas. Here you can see that the yellow iris has, it's created some sort of shimmery images, but compared to the rest of the painting, it's still quite, creating quite a lot of movement still in the background, but allowing all the rest of the work to come forward. I think here also it's been quite interesting to capture the different textures and the different light and movement with the Lustre paints in a way where the colours are still very clear and very concise in terms of movement and brushstroke too. I'm quite happy with how those effects have taken place. So that's it for that video.